Hi guys, Ativ here, and in this video I'll be talking about the Texans schedule, and this will be my first team in the AFC South. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. And yes, I did do this after the first game of the NFL season, so that is my bad. Hope you guys are having a great day, and without further ado, let's hop right into it. So this is their schedule, and by the way, I made this before the Chiefs game, but yeah, everyone knows what happened in the Chiefs game, 34-20. So yeah, let's hop right into their first game. So when they were playing at the Chiefs, I had them losing to the Chiefs, which they did. They lost 34-20, of course. No offense to Nelson Aguilar, but like all the Texans receivers played like Nelson Aguilar out there. I'm just gonna say that. So the Texans didn't exactly have the greatest game. I mean, Deshaun Watson didn't have the greatest game either until basically the last few minutes of the fourth quarter. But yeah, in game 2, we have the Ravens at Texans, and I'm going to have to go with the Texans having a loss here. I mean, the Ravens are a really strong team. I think that they're even going to beat the Chiefs. So if they're beating the Chiefs, then I don't think that they'll be able to beat the Texans. Or win versus... Yeah. I don't think the Texans will be able to beat the Ravens. That's what I should be saying there. In game 3, we have the Texans at Steelers. And in this game, this was actually a tough decision for me, I would have to say. But I'm going to have to go with the Steelers taking the W here. I mean, honestly, don't get me wrong. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I would not be surprised at all if the Texans won this one. I just feel like the Steelers' defense is so good, and they're going to be able to shut down the Texans' receivers. But David Johnson might have a great game here. And I feel like this game could go any way. I just have the Steelers winning this one for now. Game 4, we have the Vikings at Texans. And honestly, this was another tough one for me to choose, but I have to go with the Vikings taking the W here and the Texans taking the L. Now look, don't get me wrong, I would not be surprised if the Texans won, and I know I'm saying that again, but like, the Vikings have a pretty good defense. They just got Yannick Ngakoue this offseason. And I mean, they did lose a lot of players, though. Like, they lost Anderson Aho, Xavier Rhodes, and Everson Griffin. So those are some big losses, but at the same time, I mean, Yannick Ngakoue is a great player, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to keep Dalvin Cook next season. But I'm going to have to go with the Texans taking the L here. I just don't think that the Texans have the offense it takes. In game 5, the Texans are playing versus the Jaguars. This is a rivalry, and I mean, I don't think that there are many teams that the Jaguars are going to be winning against, if I'm being honest here. So I think that the Texans should be able to win this one fairly easily. In game 6, we have the Texans at the Titans, and this is a rivalry one. A rivalry matchup, I should say. And honestly, I'm going to have to go with the Titans winning this one. I mean, these are probably the two best teams out of this division, but hey, who knows? The Colts could have a great season. I'm not sure, but I would not be Actually, I would be surprised, honestly, if the Texans won this one. Like, the Titans are a great team. They have a very good offense, and they did get Jadeveon Clowney, yeah, and they have Kevin Byard, but they did lose Logan Ryan, who's a pretty big piece. But I mean, I still think that they should be able to win versus the Texans. Maybe not fairly easily, but it could be a decent game. In game 7, the Packers are playing at the Texans, and honestly, I'm going with the Texans taking the L here. I'm not being very nice to them versus the NFC North. Then again, these are the two best teams in the NFC North. But honestly, I know I've said this so many times, but I would not be surprised if the Texans won this one either. Like, the Packers' defense isn't amazing. They do have the Darius Smith, but, like, the Packers' offense is what really needs to carry them in this game. And the Texans' offense nor defense are very great either, so I'm not sure how this game's going to go, but I have the Texans taking the L for now. In game 8, we have the Texans at Jaguars. And despite it being at the Jaguars' home, I'm not going to give the Texans the L here. It's the Jaguars. They're trying to tank as hard as possible for Trevor Lawrence. Game 9, the Texans are playing at the Browns. And honestly, this is going to be surprising. Maybe not, but I'm going to have the Texans taking the W here, especially considering the teams I've been having them losing to. But I'm going to have to give the Texans the benefit of the doubt here. If the Browns can play to their roster, I should say, then they're definitely going to take the W here. But if the Browns play like Freddie Kitchen style, Browns, then we all know what's going to happen. So, yes, they did fire Freddie Kitchens, and my friend always makes this joke, 16 games too late, but I just don't see the Browns winning this one, and I think that the Texans will come out strong after a couple of L's. Game 10, we have the Patriots at Texans, and I'm going to have to go with the Texans losing this one. Like, the Patriots still have a pretty good defense, and I think that should be able to stop the Texans' offense. And yes, I know I've been saying that a lot. And the Texans do have Deshaun Watson and David Johnson, don't get me wrong. And if David Johnson can stay healthy, he could potentially get over 1,100 yards, maybe even over 1,200 like he did a couple of seasons ago. But I don't think that the Texans will be able to beat Cam and Julian Edelman. So I just don't know how this is going to go, honestly. Game 11, but I do have the Patriots winning, by the way. Game 11, we have the Texans at Lions. I'm going to have to go with the Texans winning this one. I mean, come on, let's all be real here. Again, it's the Lions, yeah. In Game 12, we have the Colts at Texans, but I'm going to have to go with the Texans taking the L here. Yeah, taking the L? What am I saying? No, taking the W. I have the Texans actually sweeping the Colts, and that's going to be very surprising. And if you disagree with me, then just let me know in the comments. But I'm going to have to go with the Texans sweeping the Colts. The Colts do have Sheldon Day and Xavier Rhodes and DeForest Buckner on their defense. So Sheldon Day hasn't really done much. He was just on the Niners, so I'm saying he's good. But DeForest Buckner and Xavier Rhodes are some great players. And yeah, and they could stop the Texans' offense. I feel like the Texans are going to come out big in this rivalry matchup. In Game 13, the Texans are playing at the Bears. I'm going to have to give the Texans the W here. The NFC North hasn't been the greatest matchup for the Texans, but I'm going to have to give the Texans the benefit of the doubt here. I mean, the Bears have a great defense, but I think that the Texans just will outplay the Bears. That's it. In Game 14, we have the Texans at Colts. Like I said, I have the Texans sweeping the Colts. In Game 15, we have the Texans versus Bengals, and I'm going to give the Texans the win here. But honestly, if the Bengals play like how their roster seems to go, you have Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow, who no one knows how he's going to be, but if he lives to that, he's going to be a great player. Then you have AJ Green, who could be the comeback player of the year, and you have Tyler Boyd, who's gotten over 1,000 yards twice in a row. So that team is stacked, and on the offense, that is. The defense is not so stacked. I mean, they do have Geno Atkins and Von Bell. And they got DJ Reader, I believe, as well. But I don't know how far their defense is going to get them. But they have a pretty good offense by players. I just don't see them winning versus the Texans because I don't think that they'll be able to live up to the potential. No offense to Bengals fans. Losing to the Texans. Is that what I said? My mind isn't working today, sorry. Game 16, the Titans are playing at the Texans, and I'm going to have to go with the Texans winning here. This is going to be surprising. I'm going to have the Texans wanting vengeance on the Titans in Game 16. This could potentially be a playoff game. Well, not a playoff game, but for the playoffs, because you'll see the record after this. But I do see the Texans winning this one because they're going to really want it, and I feel like they're going to really fight for it. So I have the Texans going 9-7, and if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comments below. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.